acknowledge that bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
What have you done?
I won't leave you. Not this time.
You were the chosen one!
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
The Force is with you, Skywalker. If you are a Jedi yet.
I like those odds.
My brother Anakin!
What?
I love you!
The Force is strong.
I'll never join you!
Are you a Jedi?
Then you will die.
What is happening, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Dimension Podcast. Back for another episode. How you doing, David? My co-host. What's happening?
I'm doing well, buddy. Doing well. Looking forward to getting this all spoken about. I've been dying to talk to you about it.
Digging deep. We've been saving it for the podcast. So, to start off, before we start deep diving in between the scenes of the episodes, what's your overall thoughts of the episode as a whole?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll tell you at the end when we mark our shield. Have you got that ready?
Oh, when we decide our cap shield rating.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure about my rating. I'm sure I'll decide at the end, though. Sure, I'm curious to see what yours was. But I think overall, generally speaking, that the first episode, I liked the first episode. It was really good. A lot of good action. I think this episode was a step up. I really liked them coming together and them working as a team and just the conflict between them. I think the Winter Soldier's such a compelling character, like so compelling. Like I just want to see more and more of him. Sam's cool. I like Sam as well, but I'm really drawn into Winter Soldier. What do you think?
I'm drawn into the new character, actually.
New
Robin Hood.
Flag Smasher.
I'm looking forward to finding out a wee bit of a backstory to her, find out how she became what she is, but we'll get to that.
What's their story? Right, you want to get stuck in? Scene 1.
Definitely.
Episode 2, The Star-Spangled Man. That's the name of the episode. After John Walker, the new Captain America, the fake Captain America. Anyway, Scene 1. We've got him. He's in the locker room. He's reliving the glory days. He's thinking back when he went to that high school. He's a soldier now. I think we meet his girlfriend. That's what I took from it. His girlfriend, his wife, fiance, something like that.
Yep.
Anyway.
We got to meet his friend, Lamar, as well. During
Hoskins,
that.
his sidekick.
Yep. Or Battlestar, I think it was.
Battlestar. We'll get into it. I hate it.
God.
I hate them both. I'll say it now, but I'll say it now and I'll say it later. I hate them both. He's no Captain.
You know what? I liked him. I feel like he'll get in the way of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think he'll be a pain. A few of his things that he done during the show that I didn't really quite like, but I think we'll grow to like him. You know, when he was telling everyone how he has big boots to fill, I felt like he as an actor meant that as well as part of the storyline, because we all loved Steve and got the new guy in. So yeah, it'll be good to see how he develops. But right now, I'm not too keen, but I'm hoping that he'll show us how well he can be.
Well, he seems pretty up to the task, but he also does have self-doubt, the same as Sam does. But we'll get into it. I really, right at the start, after we see him, there was such a funky Marvel intro, like see with the horns and the band playing on the field. There was that was intercut and playing over the Marvel intro, and I thought it was really funky. What do you think about that?
You know, I've never been to an event like that, and watching it on the American shows that they do, I would love to be there to witness that. Love to be involved.
Would you be spinning a stick?
I really would be. I'd be right in there. But no, it was really good. And then he ran up and got interviewed by a reporter or someone, and she was getting a wee bit more information. And one thing that I noticed, right, when they were talking, is that he compared himself to Tony. He said, "I'm not like Tony. I'm not like Bruce Banner. I've not got any superpowers, right?" So there we go. We know one thing already: is he's not actually a super soldier. Or is he?
See, I was getting the impression he doesn't seem to be a super soldier. He just seems to be very, very skilled and very, very tough. But I don't know, man. The way he was throwing that shield, pretty intense. And then when he threw the shield and caught his sidekick later on in the episode, and caught him on the ground just before he went and splatted the highway, I thought that was like, well, that was some major fast reaction and accuracy. Do you know what I mean? Well,
definitely. But I mean, like, as you just mentioned, that he splattered across the bloody highway. Like, if that was a normal person, you'd be dead. You know, you'd smash on
I was talking about Hoskins. He threw his shield down just before Hoskins hit the road, and he landed. And Hoskins lands on the shield.
Yeah, and then not long after that, we've got Captain America getting off.
He gets kicked off and lands on somebody's windshield.
So have we got a proper set of armor that he has that can absorb any kind of hit, or is he actually a super soldier?
Well,
we need to find out.
He was taking on 3 super soldiers, and he did fare kind of well. But
and he did take the hit.
But see, going back to his interview, it shows Bucky in his apartment sitting on the floor. He looks visibly sad. Like, I feel so bad for Bucky, man. I love him. I think he's my new favorite.
Yeah, I can see why he's upset. You know, his point of view, and I can understand why him and Falcon aren't really getting along. They've got different opinions over everything. But when I seen him on the floor again, I thought, oh, you know, like the first episode.
And John Walker's sitting there talking about Steve and how he's got big boots to fill, and he has to be a symbol like he was, and all this stuff. And he's like, even though I didn't ever meet him, I feel like he was a brother. Like that kind of stuff just cuts deep into Bucky, man. Do you know what I mean? You can just see like he doesn't like this guy. I don't like him either. They'll try to get you with this episode, his setup and his opening, because this was like his episode, but it was also the episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier coming together again as a team. So not again as a team, but coming together and working together. And then, but obviously, I feel like the episode was a lot focused on him as well.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, you know, that show, The Boys, with the superheroes, and they've got the kind of captain guy who knows how to win the crowd, gives us waves and signatures and everything. Then in the other scenes, he's killing people, civilians, taking down planes. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of like that. He'll know how to win a crowd, but I think he'll be a bit of a pain in the background when people don't know what he's actually doing. I think he'll be a total menace, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he will be like a wee bit more like Captain America. But another thing I noticed as well is he used a gun, and Captain America never needed a gun.
Well, Cap did use guns in like the first movie and stuff, but see,
before he became powerful.
See, when he uses the gun, you're talking about when he's on top of the flatbed truck. He does that, he does like a turnaround spin, and while he's fighting the other guy, and he just turns around, and it's like time slows down. He's got pinpoint accuracy, and he shoots that flag smasher dead headshot, perfect accuracy during all that commotion. So that also makes me think, does he have powers?
Well, he didn't kill him, because right after the flag smashers were checked up on him, and he said, "I'm fine."
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he shot him like on the chest or something, but the guy was totally fine. But going on to that, so we get to the where Bucky and Sam meet now.
After the interview, it cuts to the poster. Cap is back. Sam's looking at it. God, man, it's infuriating. I hate how his ears pop out as well. Like Cap's ears were covered. Do you know what I mean? In his helmet. I just.
Mhm.
I can't.
You don't like him, do you?
I don't like him at all. I don't trust him. He's the main villain. He's the main villain. He's up to something.
Do you
And
think?
that little sidekick Hoskins, I don't like him. Little Hoskins, he's trust him at all.
He's just a cool wee sidekick. You know, he'll do what he's
He's a
told.
pussy. He's a little
Yeah.
pussy.
But yeah, no, I did like a wee bit of the backstory, you know, and I felt, oh, maybe I will get to like him, but as the story progressed, I increasingly did not like him as much. But yeah, so we finally got, after the interview, Bucky and Sam finally meeting. We didn't get to watch that in the first episode. We thought we would, but they didn't. But they finally met. They've got some issues resolved between them.
Torres is there. Torres is there as well at some sort of hangar.
Mhm.
Sam's prepping for a mission, and
Yep.
Buck appears to call Sam out, saying it's like it's not right. You gave up that shield.
Yep, I agree with him.
Oh, I agree as well. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like you can understand Sam's perspective.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then get into it more in depth later on in the therapy scene, which we've seen in the trailers as well, where they have the kind of stare off. But coming back to this scene in the kind of hangar, Sam's prepping for a mission. He gets on the plane and Bucky's like, "I'm coming with you." And he gets just after their big three conversation, and they also have a stare off in the back of the plane. Their first stare off. It's good, man. It's good. I dig it. Like they're kind of beef and drama and like awkwardness with each other. Like
Definitely, I love it.
I totally buy it. Like, do you know what I mean? I've had that exact same kind of tension with people before as well. Like maybe in work or like in other friendships. Like when your friend's got a friend. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But,
Yeah.
like the big three conversation. What is it? Aliens, androids, wizards.
Wizards, yeah. Oh, I laughed at it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. How do you know about the book?
I read it back in 1937 when it came out. I thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. But I did think, you know, when he said sorcerer is a wizard with that hat, I thought, maybe you're right.
Good point. It's a good point. And they're on the plane, and Sam doesn't tell him the plan or anything, and he's like, "Oh, I've got a plan." He jumps out and flies away. Bucky's like, "Right, where's the chutes on this thing?" There's no parachutes. He's like, "It's all right. I don't need it." Torres says, "Are you sure about that?" And he looks out. You can see he's nervous. It's the kind of swallow gulp. Do you know what I mean? The Adam's apple goes up. And he jumps out and he's trying to catch like a branch or whatever. He rips his sleeve off first. He's trying to act all macho. Then he just goes flying down and splats, man. Like, and Redwing catches it all on camera. So Sam witnessed it in his goggles.
He's definitely lost a few of his skills from what, you know, back in the day. He would have definitely been able to catch a tree and glided through there and landed perfectly, but now he's just like, boom.
I don't know, man. I thought it was just all an ego thing. I don't think in the past he would have done something as stupid as like just jump out the plane like that and go through the trees to land. But obviously he is a super soldier, so he can take it. But it probably caused him a bit of hassle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he would have got the wind knocked out of him, definitely.
He got up and began running away again, so all good.
He is a badass, because then they get to this like factory, this worn down factory, and they're stealthily sneaking about. Redwing's kind of surveying the area, and they find him, and they think there's a hostage in the back of one of the trucks. He's like, Sam's like, I see Bucky says he sees a clear path. He's like, let's get to them, and he wants to just go head on and not take precautions or not plan a strategy or tactics or work out with Sam. He just wants to go ahead and get it over with. And then and Sam's like, "Oh, how many do you see now?" And there turns out to be like 8, and they're all 8 of them are super soldiers. You see them lifting massive crates into the back of trucks. The first time I watched it, I didn't even notice that. It was the second time. But like Bucky says, "Oh, so what? They're strong." like right away, like after you see them lifting the big crates. I didn't even notice that the first time round when I was watching it, and I noticed it the second time today, and he's just lifting big, massive pallets and crates. And, well, what was it, medicine into the back of the trucks?
Yeah. I don't know if they were all. There's a woman there with them in a bit of a suit, and she kind of vanished. You know, at first I thought she was actually getting into a truck. I think she did get into the truck, but you didn't see her in the fight.
No.
You know, so there might be 7 of them, but you know, I didn't see that woman getting in. And when she got in the truck, I didn't see her in the fight or anything. So did she remain in the truck?
And as well, it's like they all had masks on, and some of them have long hair anyway that are guys as well. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And talking about the hostage now, we're finally getting to the Robin Hood.
The Robin Hood, your new all-star character in the show.
I like her. I like her already.
See when Sam sees through the infrared scan through the truck, and he sees like the girl sitting down just on the back of the truck. He's like, they've got a hostage. As soon as he says that, Bucky just starts sprinting and running as fast as they can, and you can really see his super soldier skills. Like, he runs so fast. It kind of reminded me of the scene in Wakanda in Infinity War when Steve and Black Panther are running like into the start of the battle, and both of them are just zooming miles ahead of everybody, kind of side by side, like kind of even. I just thought it was awesome. It kind of reminded me of that. It was a little callback, and he just runs and gets the back of the door of the truck and gets in right away. But then what happens? Well,
right before he does all that, Sam does make a joke and he says, "Oh, your time at Wakanda, you came out the White Panther," and he said, "No, it's the White Wolf actually." And he said, "Huh?" Like, I think he was like trying to wind them up, trying to have a joke, but he was actually known as the White Wolf.
I thought he was deadly serious. He's like, it's White Wolf actually, because we're calling him the Winter Soldier, and that's what he is in the show. But I think he himself now is he wants to be the White Wolf, and that relates to something later on that we'll talk about with how Sam feels that we find out in the therapy scene.
Yep.
You just talk about that scene now if you want. I don't mind in what order we talk about scenes. I just want to.
Well, I like doing it in the chronological order. You know,
it is a good structure. It is a good structure.
So they run up to the truck, and Bucky jumps in the back.
I forgot to mention as well, they're in Munich.
What?
They're in Munich, Germany.
Yep, they're in Munich. Yep. And then we find out they're actually going to Pennsylvania. Quite a bit of a distance, actually. Quite far. Well, that's where they're going, but we don't know that right away. We know that later on. But they're in Munich, and we get to meet the hostage, which I believe her name was Carly Morgenthau.
Was that her real name, or was that one of her covers? Because no, they said
that's the real name. Yeah,
destroy her aliases.
Yeah. Played by, I believe her name was Erin Kellerman.
Also in Han Solo. She's also in the Solo, a Star Wars story movie.
What one?
Solo.
Oh, I've not watched that.
I like Solo. I mean, it got a bit of hate, but it actually is a decent movie.
Yeah. So then we find out that the hostage.
Oh no, on you go. Sorry.
We find that the hostage isn't actually a hostage. She's one of the. I think she's a leader.
I think so as well. That's the impression it's gave in every scene. Everyone seems to like go to her, and that guy that kind of sacrificed himself stayed behind so they could escape. He's like, "Oh, what is the saying? One people, one world, one people."
Yep. One love.
So exactly, like he says it to her. It does seem to me that she's the kind of leader of the whole Flag Smashers. But yeah, she kicks Bucky's ass, just fucking fly kicks him out the back of the truck. He goes flying into the other van and gets dragged up by the 2 other super soldiers, and she jumps out, and the 3 of them are all just fighting away. And then
Falcon lets them know that.
Aye.
You got your ass kicked.
Oh, he does indeed. And then Falcon flies in and joins the fight, but in memoriam, a sad moment in the episode. Rest in peace, Red Wing. How do you feel, David? How do you feel? Rest in peace,
I love Red
Wing.
Wing. I'm absolutely gutted.
Bucky's all like, you know how long I've wanted to do that?
It was a hard.
Give Red Wing some love. He makes the strategy and the missions easier. He's good for tactics and whatnot. He comes in handy. You know what I mean? And you can play back his footage later on after missions. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What will I do better next time? Do you know what I mean? I think Red Wing is the man. Red Wing's starting to become a character of his own. He's not just like a bit of Sam's gadget. He's an actual character. He's Red Wing. See if they gave him a voice like Jarvis. Eventually, you know what I mean? Man,
you're not going to edit in the Red Wing getting destroyed, are you? I bet you do. You're going to break my heart again.
I'm not gonna give myself as much work as last time editing individual scenes. I'll just have different montage clips like playing over while we talk. Do you know what I mean?
Avoid Red Wings.
It was like 12 hours of editing the last podcast. It's too long.
Mm-hmm. But then, while they're fighting, I think they would have handled it. I think they would have done all right if Captain America and his little sidekick never got involved.
100%. They show up in a chopper out of nowhere, and there's a little American kind of theme tune starts playing. I bet you that's his whole new theme tune every time he shows up. The American theme. You just see eagles and falcons and majestic flags waving in the air. But they show up and Falcon and Bucky don't even want their help, but they get involved and start fighting. As we see, John Walker can handle himself. Do you know what I mean? Like he's throwing that shield pretty well. He's fighting, he's kicking, he's doing all sorts of crazy maneuvers. But at one point, Bucky catches the shield, and there's like this moment where it's like, this is mine. Do you know what I mean? You don't deserve this, and he kind of gives it back, and you can see that.
Gave it back. He kept like shut it.
It's like this split second where you can see that broke Bucky's heart.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
He wants that shield. He definitely wants that shield.
Well, they do say a wee bit later after this scene that Sam says like, well, we can't just beat up a man and take the shield. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. They were on the run for 2 years over it.
Exactly.
But they all got beat. Every one of them got beat. What was it? The Bucky fell, clinging on to the truck. Falcon saved him, I think. Tried to help him. They crashed into the grass, and then that throw, by the way, by Captain America when he threw the shield as the
Hoskin, Battlestar.
That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That's the thing. It's like, well, that is some incredible aim. His maneuvers, climbing, jumping back up onto the back of the truck, fighting 3 super soldiers. I don't think he's just an ordinary soldier. You know what I mean? He must have some sort of enhancements, some sort of powers. Like just that aim with the gun, that shot, the way he's throwing the shield, that aim when he caught Hoskins as he's flying down and he's climbing back up on the back of the truck to get to the top, throws that down, it catches him perfectly, slides to safety, absorbs all the shock because that's what the vibranium does, and then he goes on to continue fighting the girl, and he's like, oh, you're making a big mistake, and then she just teeps him, just like front kicks him right off the back of the truck. He goes he goes flying into somebody else's, some poor mother's like windscreen of her car, smashes it and rolls off. Then he just gets right back up fine. So that also makes me think, right, he must have abilities. He got back up like it was nothing. He's fine. So they drive off. She's smiling.
No wonder. You've made a big mistake. Carly put him right in his place. Like, take this, you idiot. Boot right off the truck. You've made a big mistake here.
Where do you think she's from based off her accent? Like,
Scotland.
Like, where's she?
No idea.
I have no idea either, but I'm very interested in these Flag Smashers now. I think they might be in it a bit longer than I originally theorized, but I'm excited.
I want a backstory on her. I want to know more about her. How is she powerful? What did she go through? You know, and you know what? Will she be a villain? You know, the people, the rebellion, I think they're called, are calling her the Robin Hood, right? And we all know the
Maybe
story
she's an
about
anti-hero.
Yeah, maybe. You know, I think what she thinks she's doing is doing something good to get medicine to people after the blip. I think was that the plan?
Well, they were talking about like the people that were forgotten about. It's like the people that vanished when they came back. The government cared more about them than the people that were still here.
Yeah.
The blip, and it's like,
so it's really a villain.
I don't know.
I don't think
Maybe not. Maybe not. Like there's a lot.
It could be another Wanda. It could be another
that we don't
Wanda
know
thing where we
about.
think she's a villain, and then she turns out that she's trying to be a hero. She's trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But they have their own selfish purposes. People have gotten hurt. Things have been stolen.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? But
no, I think
every villain is the hero of their own story.
What is that saying again? From the Joker, was it you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain?
Yeah, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Aye, that's it.
Yeah, I thought about that when I seen her because I just didn't know. Are you a goodie? Are you a baddie? But I like her. So after that, they're on the road, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they're walking back.
They're walking to try and find the nearest town, and that's when Captain Fake America shows up with his little pussy ass sidekick. I don't
Red
like
Wing
him.
left behind.
Poor Red Wing. They'll never find the pieces for that. He was totally smashed and left in the wind. But they show up. They're like, this guy is so desperate for both Falcon and Bucky and the Winter Soldiers. Steve Rogers, two best friends and like right hand men. He wants their approval so bad. And I just don't like him at all.
The need for that. The need for their approval, for them to like him, and I don't think it will happen very quick, but I think he'll end up getting angrier and angrier, and I think he might actually end up being the villain. I think he might be the main villain.
That's what I've been saying all along.
Yeah, I know. So I think Carly, you know, we're all looking at her like, oh, is she the baddie? Not. I think it might be the new Captain America.
And then there's also Zemo, but they're going, as we learned in this episode, they're going to talk to Zemo. So is Zemo going to have a Hannibal Lecter style, like helping the cops find this other murderer role, or is he going to escape? Is he going to become a bad guy, the main bad guy? Like, so many unanswered questions, so many theories. I can't wait. There's only 6 episodes though, so we're a third done.
Yep. I don't agree with Bucky going to talk to Zemo at all. You know, he might do his little words and change them again. I think Sam should do it, but not Bucky. Avoid him, Bucky. Avoid him.
And as well, Johnny Walker, he says something like about Cap, and Bucky's like, no, you're not like him. He's like, hey, have you ever jumped on a grenade? And he's like, yes, 5 times. It's a whole thing. My helmet like absorbs it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You know what he should have said? He should have been like, can you pick up, Mjolnir? Can you pick up Mjolnir? Do you know what I mean? Because Cap was worthy. He grabs that bad boy, and he wields Stormbreaker as well, but I don't know if Stormbreaker has like a wielding like worthiness, like protection on it or whatever.
That's what they should do. Bring Thor back and go, pick up that hammer or pick up the axe. Go for it. You can do that. You're Captain America.
Worthy. Get that star off his helmet.
I know. But when they're in the truck, they're trying to. Well, Captain America is trying to get them on his side, you know, and work with them, but they're just not having it. And you know what? See, after the sidekick, I keep forgetting his name, Lamar, said, "Oh, my name's Battlestar." Oh my God!
Bucky's like, Battlestar, stop the car!
I'm out here.
That's exactly how I felt when he said it. I'm like, Oh my god, he's got a little
You know,
pussy
when he
ass
said
bitch
that,
sidekick name, a little pussy sidekick name, Battlestar. It suits him
Bucky
perfectly.
done exactly what we wanted him to do. Get out of there, man. Bloody
You know what though?
weirdo.
Have you ever seen Bucky in like the pure olden style Captain America comic? Like the way Hoskins is designed and his whole like suit and like the whole like way he is in the show kind of reminds me of how Bucky was, or just maybe it's the color scheme, but it looks kind of like Bucky. He's a bit smaller than Cap. Just reminded me of Bucky from the comics, the old Captain America comics when I seen that.
No, I didn't even know.
But that was a callback to the first Avenger jumping on the grenade, the first Captain America movie, when he jumps on the grenade and Tommy Lee Jones just tosses it.
Before he got anything done,
Aye.
he put his life on the line for his crew, for his team.
Definitely, man. Steve Rogers is the best.
Oh, aye, definitely. We'll love the real Captain America. The real Captain America.
Right. But there's only one.
There is only one.
However, like, will we accept Bucky as the new? I still think Bucky's going to be the one to become Captain America by the end of the series. Like, he's going through a crucible. He's going through some things. He's processing. He's getting through it. He's going to therapy. I think even when they're at therapy, and he said the whole thing about if Cap was wrong about Sam, then he was wrong about me. He's doubting himself. All this, I think this is all leading up to Bucky becoming Cap. This show, and I think Bucky will have maybe his own trilogy as Captain America. He will be the reboot, the rebrand, the new Captain America for the future in the MCU. You heard it here first on the Nerd Dimension. Exclusive.
I'm gonna go with my prediction of Captain America, not Captain America, the Winter Soldier and Sam will both not be it. I think it'll be Zemo. Zemo, get out, kick ass with a shield. On you go, Zemo.
I have many wrongs to right. I will now become Captain America. I am from Sokovia, but I am now Captain America.
So after that, where is it they go? They go to Baltimore, don't they?
Oh,
and they
well,
called Isaiah.
We do see that. I don't think that happens yet. I think the next thing we see is the Flag Smashers new safe house.
Oh yeah. They're in Slovakia now, so they've made it to their destination. That's when we find out what one world, one people.
Aye.
Yep. They're kind of. She's definitely their leader.
They're getting great hospitality, food. This guy and their wife, he said, everybody loves the cause. You will have a refuge wherever you go. So wherever they go, people will be helping them and giving them safe houses and hiding. So they're pretty well equipped. You know what I mean? The cause is growing. They're like, could you imagine and seen the cause being like this 6 months ago? It's like crazy growing fast overnight. It's like it's caught fire, caught attention. People are wanting involved. People agree with what their vision is, and what they want to do, what their plan is, how it was in the blip. Like they're bringing a lot of attention to some of the things that the government has done and changed since the blip ended and people reappeared. But the Flag Smashers are getting more and more interesting. What do you think about them?
I don't think they're the villain. You know what they're doing. Actually, they robbed the bank. There we go. They robbed the bank. I was trying to think of what they done was bad, but they robbed the bank. Beat the crap out of what was his name? Torres. Torres. But no. I want to know: are they building an army? Are they building a big, massive rebellion? Are they trying to win people over so that people will follow them? And
what's their end game? Why are they doing the things they're doing? Because we have no clue. They've stole medicine. They fought with Falcon and Bucky. They fought with Cap. They've robbed a bank. They've battered Torres. Like they've been to all different places in all these different foreign countries. I have no idea what their end game is, but I'm excited to see Zemo in next week's episode. Really.
Me too. I cannot wait. But Marvel will probably shock us with because they've got a big plan for they said tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I've got the quote here. After tomorrow, there's no going back.
Yep.
One world,
Yep.
one people. Flag smash.
Yep.
Have some sort of
what
plan.
are they going to do? What can they do with medicine? You know, what is going to be the big massive change tomorrow? You know, what are they going to do? Why did they
Wait
get
a
in the
minute.
fight?
Wait a minute. What kind of medicine is it? Are they trying to create more super soldiers like themselves? How did they become super soldiers in the first place? And they're quite young.
Well, I mean, Bucky and Sam tried to figure that out, didn't they?
Is that what
They
they're
wanted to know that too.
Oh, wait. That's why. Yeah, you're right. That's why they're going to speak to Zemo to find out, because he's like, Hydra used to be his people. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, before they thought about Zemo, they went to Isaiah. That didn't end very well.
Bucky says someone you should meet.
Yep. Went there, the guy didn't let him in. Then they let him in, and I wonder.
Tell him
they fought Green War.
it's the guy the Goyang bar.
That's right.
Tell him
during
it's the guy
Green
for
War,
the Goyang bar, and then we get a bit of backstory about him.
Yep, they would send people after the Winter Soldier. They wouldn't come back. They obviously would have killed them, and then he got sent in. The Super Soldier got sent in, and ripped his arm off.
Yep, and he was just essentially the Black Captain America, but then he was locked up for 30 years, and got tests done on him and got treated horribly. It was like there's a lot of kind of race kind of dispute in this episode, I felt. And then even before they go up to Isaiah's house, Falcon speaks to a kid and he's like, "Oh, no way, you're the Falcon." And he's like, "It's just Falcon, man, not the Falcon." And he's like, "My dad says you're the Black Falcon." He's like, "Why? Because I'm black." And he's like, "So what are you? Black kid?" He's like, I got him right. I quite like that, but there's a lot of that kind of tension, and the same thing as well after they come out of Isaiah's house and there's and stuff.
I'm glad you picked that up. You know, I didn't know if I wanted to mention that or not, because the American police can be, well, we know from it, and I didn't want to go like political or the police force, but we do hear stuff about them being pretty tough on black people. And the way they reacted with Sam, is he bothering you talking to Bucky? All they were doing was talking in the street. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They look like they had a lot of tension towards Sam. I think they were trying to portray that in the program, but of where they were. But I don't know.
Yeah, but moving on, Sam was saying about he was saying that Steve didn't even know about him. He didn't mention him because he'd been through enough.
Yeah.
But like, I really enjoyed that scene. That wee boy was good that let them in.
Who had been through enough? Talking about Isaiah?
He was talking about Isaiah when he said he never told anybody about him because he'd been through enough.
Mm-hmm. So did Bucky know that he was in jail and that all that happened to him?
Yeah, you know.
How?
Probably through his Hydra when he was still an assassin. Because he said that he was on Hydra's most feared list, like Steve. So they probably did keep tabs on his whereabouts or something. I just assumed.
Mm-hmm.
They had Hydra in everywhere. Hydra was in Shield. You know what I mean? Shield was run by Hydra, so that's probably how they know.
Yeah.
So it was probably Shield that had Isaiah in prison. Who knows?
And then. So the police then arrest.
There's a warrant for Bucky because he missed his therapy.
Yeah, and then that gets to my favourite scene of the whole show. I just loved it. Them in therapy.
It was really good, but it was like, even though there was like some moments were played for laughs, there was some serious and character growth moment, like when Bucky, when she says she asked about the medical question, and she's like, "Are you aware of the medical question?" And at the exact same time, Sam says, "Of course," and Bucky says like, "The what?" or something, like he has no clue. And then she says, like, she tells him about the test or whatever. I can't really remember exactly what she says, but they move on.
If you go to sleep in a miracle, you dream about a miracle. you wake up and that miracle happened, what would that miracle be? And Bucky goes for him to be a wee bit more quieter. And then
for him to not talk as much or something. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's like, it sounds like I was going to say the same thing.
How ironic.
But, they do the what is it? They do the soul gazing exercise. They move on.
Look at those eyes lovingly.
The soul gazing exercise. They move really close, and that's when it starts to get a bit more serious, and they really get into things. So he's like, the therapist is like, why don't you tell Sam what it is that's aggravating you? And he's like, why did you give up the shield, man? He's like, that was Steve's shield. He gave it to you. He chose you. Like, did you just give it away? And he's like, why? Sam's like, why does it even matter? It has nothing to do with you. He's like, it has everything to do with me. And then he's like, Sam's like, what? How? And he's like, because if Steve was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. And he's looking for forgiveness. He's looking for moving on from being all those years of assassinating all these innocent people and all the terror he's done. And he knows that Steve like went on the run. Steve caused a whole lot of problems in Civil War because he believed in Bucky. And then Bucky saved Steve at the end of the Winter Soldier movie, pulled him out of the water. So Steve believed in him. So he has to try and believe in himself, and he had that time in Wakanda where he probably meditated, reflected on all this. He grew, he became the White Wolf over there, but he's not officially called that yet. But I think he's such a complex, compelling character, and I'm excited.
We need to flip backgrounds, by the way, right? Because I'm going to stick up for Falcon here.
Go for it. Tell me your thoughts.
Falcon's point of view is he's not Captain America. You know, he'll never live up to Steve. That shield belongs to Steve. It'll always resemble Steve and everything that he worked for and did for the world. He doesn't want to be the new Captain America. We all know that. He doesn't want to do it, but he would rather that shield go towards a dedication, which happened in the first episode, that shield to go to resemble Steve, and for everything that he's done, you know, through the whole, like kind of Captain America museum thing they've got going on. He doesn't want to put that on. You know, he wants it to be the shield to resemble the real Captain America, and that'll be it. So I can understand it has nothing to do. He got given that shield, and whatever he does with that shield, you know, if he damaged it, it wouldn't be anything to do with Bucky. So if he gave it away, donated it to a museum, it's nothing to do with Bucky. It is his property, and that is my perspective over it. You know, he thought he was doing the right thing. He didn't realise that they'd remake a new Captain America. It's not his fault. But what's done is done. He doesn't want to go and take the shield off him and just start everything. He's like, leave it be. But I can understand why Bucky is
he's like, what am I supposed to do? Phone up Captain America and he'll say, hey, I changed my mind, give me my shield back. And as they said in the truck as well, that's like the scene earlier. Like, how were you tracking the Flag Smashers? Because they'd obviously been Sam's obviously been trying to find them and having a hard time, him and Torres. And like, oh, we didn't track them, we tracked you. Well, Red Wing specifically. He's like, oh, you hacked my tech, and he's like, well, technically it's not yours, it's the government. And he's like, kind of the government. It's like, oh, I hate him. That's not Steve. Steve would never. The real Captain America would never be like that.
The real Captain America did not flaunt anything. He was pure. He was just an all-round perfect guy. And now we've got this guy that's like, I got him out of therapy. I done this. I done that. I'll sign your book or your toy or whatever. He's annoying.
I know. Oh, he's giving all sorts of autographs and cheeky winks all over the place, left and right. But we find out. So they have a wee bit of a resolvement there, and Sam's like, you know what? There's some serious shit going on right now. I need to get out of here. Do you know what I mean? And he leaves.
Yep.
Obviously, I guess Sam gets released as well.
Yeah, but I felt like they did bond. I feel like they do have a bond. You know, that bond might be Steve, but there's definitely something there. A love-hate relationship between them both. You know, they've got different opinions, but they'll both help out each other. And I think the whole thing with Winter Soldier and Falcon is how they learn to work together and actually become a good team.
Oh, definitely. And then what happens next? They leave the police station, and who do we see? He puts on the police lights on the car to get their attention. The Star-Spangled Man himself, the fake Captain America, and his little Battlestar sidekick Hoskins. So they go over. They're what did they discuss again? God, I can't even remember.
Trying to work together. Oh, they want to work together, but Sam said, "How can they work together?
Yeah.
They're free agents."
Mm-hmm. So they've got authorizations and walls that they don't have, so it would make no sense for them to work together. And then
it's the whole point of Civil War.
Exactly. Another callback to that. So then that fake Captain America's like, "Well, do me a favor, stay the hell out of my way." And it's just like, oh man. I don't like him. I hope he gets his ass kicked more and more in the show as it goes on.
I hope so too.
Watching him just get beat.
I want to see him get beat up again.
I hope it becomes there's like a 2v1 Falcon and Bucky just fighting him, kind of like when Civil War style at the end when it's Cap, Iron Man and Bucky. I hope there's a like still scene like that when it's Falcon, Bucky just fighting this Johnny Walker fake Captain America. I hope it happens. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
But what do you think about Zemo returning?
I'm excited. See, when you think about it, he's one of the best villains in all of the MCU and all of the movies, and he's only appeared in one, but he's the only villain to do so much damage internally to the Avengers that had long-lasting cause and effects. Thanos didn't do that, Ultron didn't do that, Loki didn't do that. They were always all stronger and more of a team and a bigger team by the end of those ones, whereas in like Civil War,
he ripped them apart.
He ripped them apart from the inside. He attacked their heart. So I think he's incredible. I think he's badass, and I can't wait to see the purple mask and him all geared up. Because like in Civil War as well, we find out a bit of his backstory, how he's from Sokovia and he was like a soldier and like kind of special units and that. We see him interrogating and torturing a Hydra agent and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like all the stuff he does is like, and how he manipulates people, how he worked his way into that government facility to be able to cut off the power and then use that red book to manipulate the Winter Soldier when he's interrogating him, because he killed the doctor, the therapist, and then disguised himself as him. And well, he didn't disguise himself as him, but he pretended to be him and went into that.
What he left him in the bath, didn't he? Left him in the bath.
I'm pretty sure that is one of the Russo brothers in the picture.
Oh really?
One of the directors. I'm pretty sure it's one of the Russo brothers. I think it's Anthony.
Oh, I'll need to have a look into that.
He's because he has a cameo in all of their movies they directed.
Is it? You know what? I think you're absolutely right with your resemblance to Hannibal Lecter. By the way, they went back to him asking, "Okay, how do we track this guy?" and all that. He was the villain Hannibal Lecter. Now they've got Zemo in the big, massive, enclosed cage, glass sealed, bulletproof, no doubt cage.
This place looked modern and high tech, but think how many years has that been now? So this is what 5.5 years after Endgame.
What if he vanished?
Oh no, sorry, like 6 months after Endgame. Sorry, I mean how many years after Civil War is what I meant.
Well, imagine, right? It's been quite a while, right? Good few years, right? 5, 7, whatever, right? And when the blip happened, so Zemo's like, "Oh, I'm vanishing," and then all of a sudden he's like, "Right, I'm coming back. Crap! I'm in this bloody cage again."
We don't even know if he was in the blip, but imagine that he's just reappears and he's in the cage and he's like, 5 years have passed. He's like, well, that's 5 years off my sentence then, right? But it's not. It's like, no, you weren't here. The blip.
Or what if he didn't vanish?
You're
and he's sitting there like 5 o'clock, my dinner time.
You're starting
Where is
again.
everyone?
You're starting again a new sentence. See, technically though, like if you were part of the blip and you vanished and you were dead, surely your sentence is over, and then when you come back, it's a fresh start. I don't know. That seems fair.
I agree. Get Zemo out. Come on.
You know, one of the very early trailers for like a year and a half ago or whatever, like you see Zemo holding bullets and dropping them, and he's doing it in front of the Winter Soldier, Bucky himself. So I don't know, like, is he going to team up with Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I think he will.
Is the main bad guy going to be the new Captain America, the Flag Smashers? I have no clue.
That is my theory.
I do think the new Captain America, the fake Cap, I definitely think he's the main villain of this series. He's the main villain of it all. 100%. 100%. Well,
Yeah.
not 100%, but I think he is. He has to be.
I agree. I think it will be. And will Zemo turn over a new leaf? Will he help? Or will he have another agenda? Ooh.
He will always have his own agenda. He's too smart.
He definitely.
Smart. We see the Fly Smashers as well again. Where are they going? They're on some sort of airstrip, packing a plane. Where are they going now? And they leave one of their guys behind. He's like, one world, one people. And he rips a phone line down, throws it down. All the agents are, I don't know who those people were. I actually took a note. The power brokers or something.
What were?
The power brokers men found us. That's what they said. And he's like, how much time do we have? They're like, none. They're here. And that one guy's like that to Carly. Like, I'll buy you some time. She's like, what?
Yeah.
Sure. He's like, one world, one people. Like, get out of here. She gets on the plane. He grabs the phone line down, throws it down, gets absolutely blasted and blown away with a riddle of bullets.
Yeah.
But I don't know who are the power brokers. They said that it's the power brokers men. They found us. They must have been on their tail for a while. Who are the power brokers men?
Yeah.
Our potential villain.
And the thing is as well that the guy got blasted away. He got shot, right, killed. So the fact that the new Captain America does actually use a gun, he might be quite effective with fighting the super soldiers.
I think he's definitely got some sort of advancements himself.
But no, I've no idea where they're going, what they're planning, what they're going to do. Will we find out on Friday?
Who knows, mate? Who knows? But Bucky and Sam, you see them talking on the street, and that's when Bucky was saying, if there's anybody that would know, it would be my old people. And it was like to do with who he was involved with, aka Hydra, back then in that year. I can't remember what year off the top of my head they were talking about, but that's when he says he would have been there, he'd have been involved, he'll know, like, I need to speak to him. He's like, what, really? He's a member of Hydra. He's like, they were my people at that time. And he's like, all right, I guess we're talking to Zemo. And then that's when we get that chilling music starts and the camera's panning. There's all these screens and that, and then it goes up this hallway. It's all white, it's all modern, it's all futuristic. Well, it's not modern, it's futuristic. I don't know why I said it was modern and futuristic. It's futuristic. Zooms in, and then there he is, sitting in his cell, thinking.
You know what?
Thinking intensively, thinking intently, thinking, "Ooh, what's going on?" He's been planning something for a while. What's he?
Do you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of. Do you remember X-Men when Magneto got put in his cell, and what did he have in his cell? Chest.
A plastic cell in a chessboard.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Like, I felt like I was back watching it when I seen him.
It really was. You're right. That's a good shout. It's a good shout. But what do you think he was thinking? Do you think he knows anything?
Revenge.
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 What? Didn't he try and kill himself and Black Panther stopped him?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He had one bullet left in it, the gun, and he went to shoot himself and Black Panther stopped him.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know what? He lost his wife and his wee one, so he probably wanted to go back to them. But I think everything will change. I think he'll have had more time to reflect on the damage he caused, and maybe he's turned over a new leaf. We will find out. But
I doubt it.
Like him being a villain.
I think he's waiting. I think he's been plotting and planning. He's waiting for the right opportunity, and the right opportunity is coming to his door next week on next week's episode. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're going to appear. He's going to use them to his advantage. He's going to assess the situation. He's going to pick up on their vibes. He's going to try and figure out what they want from him. He's going to use it to his advantage. Like, he's too smart. He ripped the Avengers apart from the inside, and he's gonna work Bucky and Sam easy. He's incredibly smart, incredibly trained. Like, he's gonna get himself out of there, and maybe he'll cause a rift between Sam and Bucky in a couple episodes down the line, because Sam won't trust him, but Bucky will start trusting him more and more. The more they work together.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff. Exciting characters. I'm so interested in Zemo. I think he's cool as hell.
Zemo might be he might be the leader. He might be the leader of the Flag Smashers, for all we know. Maybe we've got after seeing him in the cell, I don't think so. You think he's kind of broken the way he was sitting, head down?
I thought maybe. No, he was kind of looking up. I thought he was thinking.
I thought he was looking down.
I thought he was like thinking intently, like really, like he had this intense look of thought in his face. That's what I thought, anyway.
Oh, I thought he was looking down, or like at the. I'm bored. Get off my chest. I want to know. Before
we seen this episode, I thought possibly that he escaped during the blip, but we don't know if he was blip, if he vanished, he came back, nothing, but we just know he's still locked up. So I thought he might have already escaped when this series kicked off, but I guess not. So I'm buzzing to see like how he takes advantage of this opportunity when Sam and Bucky arrive on his doorstep.
Do we know where the location is that he's being held?
I'm not too sure. I never noticed when it was. I just noticed the computer screens and like kind of area, but I never like looked too deep into it.
Because Captain America got Bucky out of the therapy. I'm pretty sure he got him out of all that, the bail and everything. So what if they need Captain America to get him out if he's in an American prison? But then I thought maybe he's locked up in. Where was the Civil War happened again? Was it away in like the Vatican or something?
You're talking about the kind of snowy place where they have the final battle?
No. When he got locked up right at the end, I can't imagine that being in America. So I don't think Captain America will have much to say. But maybe it is an American prison that he's in, a high-tech security one. Or maybe it is a different one. But if it is in America, maybe Captain America will have a bit of a...
you know what? What's that prison called in the middle of the water? What's that prison called in Civil War? It's in the middle of the water. Raft? Is it the Raft?
I'm not too sure. Can't remember.
I think it's the Raft. But Captain America breaks out... obviously, Falcon, what's his name? Bow and arrow guy. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Hawkeye. He breaks out Falcon, Hawkeye, Ant-Man. He breaks them all out. This high security prison.
That's right. Yeah.
Water, and Iron Man goes there. You see it like it's like pure stormy water and big black secure prison, like in the middle of the ocean. Like that's what I would have assumed. But I don't think so, given from what we saw at the end of the episode. You know what? I need to go back after the episode and watch the end again. slow it down, have a good actual look.
I'm gonna have to watch that new DC movie again.
Snyder Cut, we'll do an episode on the Snyder Cut if you want, a podcast ep. We'll talk about it. We'll get right deep into it. It's
4 hours notes. My God, you're pushing me, boy.
I've watched it twice now. But see, to be honest, I've actually watched it 2.5 times because I turned it on like a day or two after the first time I watched it. But I put it on to fall asleep to on my phone. But I did watch a good bit of it, but maybe an hour and a bit. And then I fell asleep and woke up from work. But I'll definitely talk about that. I think it's one of my favourite superhero movies ever now. I think it's really up there with one of the best. It blew me away. I hated the theatrical cut. I never liked The Flash. None of it. I'll get into it later, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie. However, I think that's the episode. We've spoke about everything that happened in it. Let's get to the rating segment. You can go first, my man.
Oh, my turn to go first this time. They brought in more characters, the music, I like that, I'm gonna have to give it a 4 this time. A 4 out of 5 shields.
4 cap shields from David?
The reason being is because I felt there was not enough action, but there was more storytelling, I think. But
definitely.
I'm going for 4. What about you?
It was a big grand scale action set piece with the whole mountain scene and everything, and like Patrick and whatnot in the first step. You're right, there was more story driven, but it dug deep into it fleshed out more of the Winter Soldier and Sam, like the character depth and evolution. Like that's what I like, characters being fleshed out in the story as well as the action. So we did see them working together in action as well as all that. I agree. A solid 4 cap shields. I gave the first episode 4.5 excitingly last time because that's what you said. But I'm going back. I'm like, the first step for me as well was 4 cap shields. I think they stepped it up a bit in this episode. They dug right deep into the characters. There was some character like bonding moments. The action was good. We learned a bit more. We saw Cap. We see what kind of guy he was. We learned his merits. He's got 3 medals of honor, the first ever American soldier to have that. This and that. MIT was doing studies on his physique. You see him doing boxing and that. There was a whole clip and everything in his interview. Do you know what I mean? All these merits and stuff to make us like him and think this is an impressive guy. He's worked hard. He's doing good. So all that said, I still don't like him. I don't trust him. But I feel like it was this kind of episode was try to promote him to us and the audience and try to get them to like this character and sympathize with him and think he's a good guy. I don't dig him. I don't trust him. He's the villain of the show. 4 cap shields, baby. That's my rating. What do you think? Any theories for next week's ep?
I think it'll be more character building, but on the Robin Hood, I think it'll be more about her, what they're doing. I think it'll give us more insight to what they're actually doing, what their agenda is. I'm hoping it will be. I really am hoping because I do like the
characters, a lot of subplots, a lot of things converging. It is exciting. It's good storytelling. Marvel never let us down.
I think the way it'll work is they'll have 2 separate bits. They'll have Falcon and Winter Soldier sorting out Zemo, talking to him, trying to work with him, and then the other part will be Captain America try to track down this organisation, what they're really about. I think we're going to be bombarded with a lot of stuff, and I'm really looking forward to it on Friday. I
hope it isn't too much, but I do want to learn a bit more about the Flag Smashers. Even though I hate this Captain America, I want to learn more about what his real agenda is. What's he really about? And I want to see more. I want to see more Winter Soldier. Falcon, you're cool. I dig you. I want to see more Winter Soldier. But that's it for this episode. 4 cap shields for both of us. I'm going to put that in here. Follow us on Instagram, TheNerdDimension89. Follow us on Facebook, The Nerd Dimension with spaces. And that's the episode. Thanks very much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. And you've been watching The Nerd